Filing for bankruptcy can be a relatively easy process if you know what you're doing and if you are being assisted by a competent and experienced lawyer. At the Alatzis Law Firm, we try to do everything we can to help our clients prepare for the bankruptcy filing so that when and if they do file, it goes smoothly, seamlessly, and results in the discharge, which is what everyone looks for. So what is the bankruptcy process and what documents will you need? Well, it's pretty simple. First, you need to have your last 2 years of filed tax returns. You need to have at least 1 year's worth of bank statements for all accounts. You need to have at least 60 days of pay stubs or pay advances. So this way, if you've been receiving pay over a period of 60 days, however that you receive that pay, we need some sort of evidence to indicate what those payments have been. And the reason for that is relatively simple. One of the things that has to happen as part of the bankruptcy proceeding is called a means test. And so we use that information from those pay advances to determine what your prorated income would be over a period of 6 months and a year. And based on that, determine whether you're eligible based on the means test that's required for Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy. The means test is important because if you fail that means test, then that could prevent you from filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is the bankruptcy we all think of as the traditional bankruptcy where all your debts are wiped out, or whether that will require you to file for Chapter 13, which would require you to pay back some, if not all, of your existing debts over the period of either 36 or 60 months. And so that's why that information that we just requested is required. Okay. The next item that's required is credit counseling. At the Alatzis Law Firm, we provide you with a link to our credit counseling service, which gives you the ability to go online and do this mandatory counseling course. It must be completed prior to filing and results in your obtaining a certificate that gets filed with your bankruptcy case. The credit counseling course is just one of 2 required courses that you're made to take as part of any bankruptcy proceeding. The second is conducted after your filing and before what's called the 341 meeting, and I'll describe that shortly. The financial management course is designed to give you some education with regards to managing debt in the future. The next step in filing for bankruptcy is actually doing the petition itself. Now, our firm will prepare the petition with you, but you'll need to be able to have at the ready information with regards to your expenses, how you maintain yourself, and the bills that you pay on a regular basis. You'll also need a catalog or an inventory of your assets. So if you have bank accounts, we'll need that information. If you have personal items, we'll need a summary of those so that we can determine which assets are exempt and protected and which assets are not and subject to potential liquidation. At the Alatzis Law Firm, we go through all of these items with you painstakingly to make sure that we are able to declare every single exemption that's available for you so that you don't lose what you're allowed to keep. Once the petition is filed, as I mentioned earlier, you will be required to take that financial management course, which we do provide you a link for. And then is a 341 meeting. And that's where a person who's appointed by the court, named a trustee, is appointed in order to determine whether, in fact, you've disclosed everything properly on your petition and that you are not making an attempt to defraud any creditors from your debts and your assets. And so that is an important part of this process. We make sure that you've gotten everything together so that when and if that meeting occurs, everything has been properly disclosed and that the trustee is satisfied with your bankruptcy filing so that there is no objection raised to provide you the ability to get what's called the discharge. The discharge is the holy grail. That's what you're looking for. That's that fresh start that says, I have no debts anymore and I'm free to move on and keep my assets. It does require about a 4-month commitment on your part from beginning to end, and that's essentially the case with almost every bankruptcy filing in the Chapter 7 world. Chapter 13 is a little more involved, and we'll discuss that in another video. But if you're able to get your documents together, and we can streamline the process for you and make it possible for you to get that discharge, that fresh start that you so richly deserve.